Ash here from the Network Studios. Welcome back to another stream inside of Newtown. Today we're going to fill the flooring in our house, what we've been doing the inside of. We kind of just did it for a little bit of fun slash testing, just to kind of see how it went. I don't think I'm going to do the sheds, by the way. I think the sheds might be a little bit. I don't really know how I would really do this shed or these sheds if I'm completely honest. This one would be quite easy to do. I might do them. I might put a little something in them. But I'm not gonna do too much. I might fill them just for the fun, but I'm not gonna fill them yet. That might just be like a last minute detail type thing. I am planning on interior and doing like interior to like practically everything on this map at some point. Gonna get some help with it though, because there's gonna be a lot of houses on this map, and just interior in houses is gonna get quite boring. But we are gonna get to do like a police station and a hospital, and we are gonna get to do some pretty cool interiors for like different things. We've got the milk yard here, by the way, if you didn't know. I don't know like if you guys still have it, but we in real life, very similar to this, we have a milk yard across the road from our house, and they still deliver milk. I don't know if like people do around your area, but we've built some milk wagons. I think they look pretty decent actually for milk wagons. You can't really do too much with them. We've got a big milk tanker for doing Northern Dairy, and I think it looks pretty nice actually. Definitely looks pretty good. A nice big milk tanker coming to deliver some milk, fill up all the little milk bottles, and then these little trucks here would take them to people's houses. Milk yard, what a bunch of farmers. We have it in our town. But you see, our town's nothing to do with farmers. Like people who don't live in my town think that our town's a town for farmers. Our town's really not a town for farmers. Our town's just dedicated in sort of like the countryside, but it's near farms, but it doesn't have necessarily much to do with farms. I'll tell you the truth, there's one farm just outside of our town, like the closest farm, and it's not really what you would class a proper farm. It's kind of more like a place where you can just go for horse riding lessons. They've actually built a load of smart modern bungalows near it. It's actually not. It's not a farm as in what you think. And apart from that, we just have farms near us, but there's nothing in our town like what we relate to farms. Like there's nothing, there's no like special stuff from farms what get delivered to our town. We haven't got a big like, you know, sort of like connection with farms. We just live near farms because we're in the countryside. We're actually not that far off a big city. You're a countryman, I'm a city man. Yeah, I know, but we don't live that far from a city, and actually I am very much a city man because my mum lives in a city, and I go to a city like quite often to see her. I know exactly what city. I know exactly what city life is. I know a fair amount about a city. Like I say, we live really close to a city, and we live really close to seaside towns. We're not like, do you know what I mean? Like apart from the distance of about 4 or 5 farms round our area, like just outside of our town, that's pretty much all it is. You know, the thing about our area is we're just towns and villages near us, and then like if you go say like 20 miles away, then you get to something a bit bigger, like a big seaside town or a city. Do you know what I mean? Ash, you don't live in a city. I live I live in a city. No, I don't. Technically, I don't. But I go and stay in a city, if that makes sense. Like, I kind of semi live in a city, if you like. I don't go and stay in a city now and again. I stay in a city quite regular, as in like most weekends. Not every weekend, but most weekends. I don't go like once in a blue moon. Um, Ash, Ash, I get on the city tram to get to school. Yeah, I walked to school because school was close to where I lived. But there's plenty of people what got buses to school who lived in my town. Plenty. Plenty of people. Plenty of people. I prefer towns to cities anyway, if I must say. I like cities for like going on a shopping day, but you do get a lot of bad traffic in cities, and especially like round our area, you get the idiots what can't drive, what don't have a clue about driving and pull out in front of you, or sometimes you're flashing them away to come through like a small gap, and then they just sat there looking at you as if to say what you're doing. Or you get the idiots on the way to the city what do like 40 miles per hour in a 60 zone. Or you get these like idiots what get stuck behind a truck and are too scared to pass it. Like, oh no, there's a big truck, what shall I do? And sometimes they leave like, there's a few cars and they leave like stupid gaps. Like, you know, where like, if you were to try and overtake a few cars, you couldn't get in between the cars. There's a northern tram line. Then a southern tram line. Fair enough. Alright, let's get some white wool on the situation. Because that's what we're going to use for our kitchen. Oh wow, I can't pick up that iron door now. That's a shame. So yeah, I might interior the sheds. Don't, you know, the sheds in our back. Oh, in the city centre. Yeah, exactly. There is in cities near us. Believe you and me. Trust me, it doesn't take us that far to get to cities. We're not like miles away out in this lost countryside and don't know anything about cities. Like, we can just get a half an hour bus ride to a city. It's not, do you know what I mean? We better just replace them sinkage things. We can easily get to a city, you know. Who? Oh yeah. Oh, Ant Chambers.
Yeah, I was asking if he was on and if he was going to join the party, but he said just finished work, so not PS4 tonight.
Yeah, he won't be. That looks good. I like this. We've cracked this house, really. We have cracked this house, if you ask me. So, if you did not know, which you obviously didn't, Martin, because you missed out, I did my Friday live show today, the second episode, and this is not me making up any stories. 993 people watch me live. That's no joke, but what I mean by 993 is not 993 like watched at the same time, but I live streamed for roughly about an hour, and within that time of like people leaving and then new people joining and then people tagging other people in and then, you know, sharing the video, like the whole total, like when I'd finished the live stream, 993 people had watched live at some point. So like sometimes I had 20 people watching me live at the time, then it'd drop down to like 15, then it'd go back up to 20, then it'd maybe drop back down to 10, and throughout that like whole entire time, when it came to the end of the actual live show, I'd had 993 people watch me live, and it's probably gone up now because some people will have clicked on the video. Like now it's not live, if you get what I mean. Like now it's not live, some people will still tune in like and watch it if they missed out, type thing. I'll be just a sec. And yeah. Yo.
Yo.
So yeah. Alright, we'll put that there. And this house is done.
But you're on Minecraft.
Yeah, this house is done, guys.
Invite me in.
It's finished inside. So yeah, it's no joke, guys. I was actually shocked myself. It took me by surprise. Like, 'cause last week we had about 400 and so many people watch live, and it was a big improvement today on the live show. Last week on my MC Friday live show, I had like 450 somewhat people watch live. Well, it went a lot bigger this week. I probably reckon if I'd have stayed live for another 10 minutes, I easily could have got 1,000 people watching live. Like, out of the total people leaving and joining. Any news? Yeah, the cat's eating the goldfish. Nah, there's a fun fair on in my town, and I hyped everybody up yesterday and said that if we get enough people, I'll go on the waltzers and MC while going round the waltzers. So I've got to MC in front of a load of people while going round the waltzers at like a fast speed. And Sunday, I think Sunday is the 10th of September, isn't it? And I've got a live show on another YouTube channel on the 10th of September. Is it? I've forgotten what it's for. It's not a Hellbound. It's something else. Maybe something like Lockdown. I can't remember. But yeah, I have that coming up, and that's gonna be good. Going live on there, just performing a few little songs, which I'm, quite happily looking forward to. I like this house, guys, but I got it wrong. There's like a little bit of a curved bit, which goes like this. So I just need to like break this and build everything from that, which is a little bit of a shame. So yeah, there is, I think it is the 10th of September on Sunday. I think it is this Sunday. There's a thing happening, like I say, and it should be quite good. Doing a couple of songs. I advertised it quite a few times in my live show, just to try and get a few more people to tune in, just in case some people couldn't tune in. For whatever reason, or just, in other words, to let more people know about it, in case there was anybody who didn't know about it, and we should, hopefully, it should be good. I'm quite looking forward to doing it. I used to do MC Noble Live things on my channel, if you guys remember, but they got a bit boring and a bit repetitive, and it required a lot of people to just kind of stand around for an hour and jump up and down and act like Minecraft people dancing and moving, which, kind of got... Yeah?
What's this gonna be?
Oh, it's just gonna be a house.
Alright. Do you want to help?
Yeah, if you can. I just had to move it along because there was a like a diagonal bit on the real house,
Oh yeah.
and
I'll be back in just a second.
I wanted to put it in. So yeah, I used to do them before. We did some pretty cool ones. The thing I liked the most about when we used to do them was the fact that we built a stage, like the stage is what we built. I thought some of the stages that we built looked sick. But yeah, this looks better anyway now. But that's a 2. Actually, no, I don't like that. Maybe we should make this... I think I'm going to make this as even as I can and make it a 3. If you get me. A 3 will be better. I love the ride. We don't get fun fairs in our city. We have to go to little town. Oh yeah. Yeah, we have one in our town at the moment. It comes like once a year. It's all right. It's not. I mean, you know, there's like, if we go to our big city, there's a thing called Hull Fair, and that's like 500 times better. That's like a lot bigger. Like the thing I'm talking about in my town is literally pretty much just a few little rides what pull up on a car park. I mean, I will say that this year it does actually look quite a bit better. There's a few more like different rides and a few more rides to usual, but it's not really what you would call a big size. The ride, like the place itself where they're actually doing the fun fair, so it doesn't really, like, you can't really fit a lot of rides there anyway. You can only sort of do so much, which is a little bit of a shame, really. So we're going to take this round like this. And take that round like that. There was a diagonal window here, so we'll take this by 3 as well. You know what? I don't like that. I think it'll look better like that. Then it actually kind of engraves in there. So yeah, we've got that there. And then we're just gonna pretty much do one of these windows again. Bish bash bosh. Take this up like this. Take this down and round. Take it across. We'll have another window here. Ash, you building? Are you building a village? No, I'm building, well, I'm building a town, basically. It's going to be a pretty large town. It's going to have, like, a few, like, housing areas. It's going to have, like, a rough housing area. It's going to have, like, normal streets like this. It's going to have, like, a main shopping, a little, like, shopping area. So not, like, big shops, but, you know, like, small size shops, like a few second-hand shops, a few, like, vintage antique shops, a couple of supermarkets, some gas stations. It's going to have a big showground on the outskirts. It's going to have a church, which is going to be like, you're in the town if you see that church type thing. Because, like, that church is a big noticeable part of the town. And then there's also going to be, like, a play park and some, like, sort of, like, highway type things just, like, bypassing the town. There's also going to be an industrial area as well, like a little area with a few factories in them. Like little sort of, like, big warehouse places. And then I'm gonna interior everything, by the way, as well. There isn't going to be like loads of empty, incomplete buildings. I'm gonna come back and do as much stuff as I can to these buildings. Try and make them look good on the inside. I'm gonna put a decent amount of detail in, and when I say detail, I don't just mean like trying to do these like really sort of advanced curved roads and roundabouts. I'm gonna put roundabouts in, but I'm not gonna do like loads of sick curved roads what just look out of place. I'm gonna like put more detail into like making bus routes and names of the streets and like dustbins in people's gardens, doing the back gardens, trampolines, sort of like traffic lights, that type of thing. Which I need to do something here. I've got a plan here. This is where I'm gonna go after this house, and then I'm gonna do a few more interiors. So I'm kind of switching it up a bit. I'm doing a few exteriors and then I'm doing a few interiors. We've done the inside of this house. This has now got a full interior, which I did myself. And then I'm gonna do a couple more like outside buildings, and then I'm possibly gonna like come back and do another interior, which I think I might do the interiors in a row. So I might do this house next. This house looks pretty cool. It's going to be, in a way, similar to what the last house was. Except for I might just do some things a little different. But it's going to be similar, but we'll sort some out when we come to it. Staircase is going to be probably in a different place, that type of thing. And we'll just see what happens, really. But yeah, it's going to be like a town, but it's going to be like a bit of a modernised town slash, it's going to have like old buildings slash new buildings, and it should look pretty decent. I've got high hope for this being like quite good. Like I say, I'm going to do some like more work to this. There's going to be a few like kebab shops as well. Going to do a couple of like kebab shops. Also like car mechanic garages as well. That's a little something that I'm possibly going to take a bit of work on as well. And then we should be pretty decent. I honestly can't see why we wouldn't be. Do you still talk to Amir? No, he hasn't joined us for a while actually. Speaking of that, I don't know if we personally did something to offend him too much, but he doesn't seem to join us much now. I think he knew as well as like you knew that Park Drive was over, and let's be honest, like that's probably, if I'm right in saying, that's probably the main reason why you joined our chat parties. Now Park Drive is kind of dead, and Park Drive is dead. I can confirm it, and confirm it to you. Park Drive is dead. I even cleared the photos on Instagram today, and I went ahead and changed the Instagram name, and I'm going to be putting different stuff on there. The Facebook page is probably going to get deleted within the next few days because I won't need it for any other use. Yeah, and yeah, Park Drive is really dead. Park Drive is over, as far as I'm concerned. But we did good to get it to 100 episodes, so that does not mean that it won't ever return in the future. But in other words, I'm doing nothing with it at the moment. Like, there's a possibility it could return in time, but as of right now, nothing with it. I've got better things to do now. I'm working on a new movie in Grand Theft Auto called The Homeless Man.
Did you start recording it yet?
Pardon?
Did you start recording it yet?
Kind of, but kind of not. Ash PD was dead from episode 50. You know what I mean, though. I'm talking like people joining for episode. I don't think PD was dead from 50, but
Storylines was amazing. You just didn't have the people committing to it.
yeah, that's it. Like, I thought the storylines were quite good. Like, I liked the idea of Steve Woods returning, and I liked the idea of like Marco breaking out of prison and then Steve ending up killing, because that made Steve, kill the second person. I liked the idea of Steve dying on episode 100. That was good. I liked the idea of
Steve died.
yeah, Steve Woods. I liked the idea of Noreen getting the illness. That worked. That was going to be
The
quite
House
good.
File was sick. That's probably the best one.
Oh yeah, the house fire was good. I also liked the. I tell you what, I loved the wars between Steve and Derek. Like when Derek would just be in his front room and Steve would walk in, and then he'd just get cocky to Derek, like, "Oh, I didn't see you there, Derek. You shouldn't leave your doors open." Any old Steve Woods could walk in, and then they used to have a little like miniature argument, a huff and a puff at each other, and then Steve would be like, "You're boring me now. I'm out of here." I liked that. I also liked Ethan finding out that Bill was his dad. Do you know what I mean? They were too predictable, kind of, but I liked them. But you see, they were to improve. They were to prove, weren't they? Like, even in real shows, you can predict things, what's gonna happen. Like, I'll tell you. I was watching Emmerdale about 3 years ago, and one of the characters was getting married, and his brother had not been in the show for a while, and his brother had been like dead, not dead, but like he was told to leave and never come back. And the person who was getting married, his sister, had like mentioned that he'd made a phone call to his brother and told him that they're getting married. And I went downstairs and said, from that day, I bet that actor's gonna return. Like, I bet you he returns. And about a month later, they announced it, like on the TV magazine, that he was gonna return. So you can predict things in real life soaps. Like, but that's the whole thing about it as well. Like, the viewers have got to guess what's happening, and that's what I like about. That's what I like about, like the show, like
Did
trying
you
to
ever
guess.
check the watch time on it?
Huh? What you say?
Did you ever check the watch time on it to see how long people actually watch it for?
No,
See
I
if they
didn't.
watch the whole video for.
No, I
You
didn't.
should.
Yeah, I should have done. But yeah, they were predictable. Yeah, definitely. But you know what I mean? Like,
It's like a good predictable. Like it was still a good storyline, but it might have been predictable. But
yeah.
everything's predictable on it.
I enjoyed it though. It was fun to do. But yeah, like I enjoyed a lot of stuff what happened in that show. I liked it when that Chinese man knocked Sarah out the way in the supermarket and she fell into a load of shelving. And I think we called the Chinese guy Mr. Wing Wang Wu or something like that.
Racist. Should have called it something Wong.
Yeah. Or if he was hanging from a chandelier, we could have named him Mi Hung Hai. But
Yeah, he died then. That was weird.
but don't ring him. You might wing the wrong number. No, I'm joking. I'm joking
Who
now.
has loads of wings but can't fly?
I do not know.
Chinese phone book.
Wow. Just show your live show. Your mix you used. Just show your live. What was the mix you used tonight? It was you know what? Let me get it up. It was from Michael Brownlee. And it was like a back to classics bounce mix or something. Let me get it up because it'll be in my history as it was the last thing I watched. It was Bringing Back the Memories Scouse mix from Michael Brownlee. I knew it was kind of like a Bringing Back the Memories thing. Yeah, it was a good mix. That was actually one of my favourite mixes. Like, I wish I'd played that before the live show just to hear some of the songs. It was pretty sick. It had some good songs in it. Yeah, we had 993 people watch us during that live show. That was
How
pretty.
many likes have you got on Facebook?
About 1,244 or something.
Tom's got more subs and he doesn't get as many views as that live.
Like, I don't know, like, I mean, don't get me
It'd be
wrong,
good if you could make money from it, like
it would.
streaming and stuff, like on
It,
YouTube.
we did get a few haters in there, we did. I'll say now we did get
Yeah, everyone
we
gets
did get
haters.
1 or 2 haters today. We had a few people in the stream, like, what argued amongst each other. It was quite funny. And someone was begging me to ban someone from the stream. Well, like, from the page. I've only
Can't do
ever...
that, no.
I don't know if you can do it. I couldn't find a way to do it from the
I
stream,
think you can do
but
it on a page, but I don't think you can do it
you
on
can.
a stream.
You can do it on a page, yeah. I've only ever banned a couple of people. And I think I ended up unbanning them after a while.
If I was you, I'd just ban them for the stream and then unban them afterwards.
Yeah, true.
Because I can still watch the stream even if they're banned, I just can't comment.
Yeah, but they were commenting, yeah. I mean, you know, they weren't really being that bad. I mean to be honest, like it started off with someone asking me like some serious questions, like questions along the lines of "Are you disabled?" type thing, and then some other people what were like quite biggish fans of me, kind of took it to heart and kind of thought he was being a bit harsh, and then caused an argument with him or her or whoever it was.
Good on them.
And it just, like, I think at first he was only, like, asking a serious question. And then he maybe did start to take the mick a bit after, I don't know, but it just got mad after a while, like, people commenting, and it was good, though. Same time next week, 7:30, the place to be. Quite good there. It's a good software program, what I use as well. I'll tell you what it is. I use an app called Switcher, and you can you can start a stream like say 15 minutes before you actually want to stream, and you can put them like the stream will begin soon. It works pretty good. You can also like you go on a toilet break and put like a stay tuned thing over your stream.
How'd you get that?
I just downloaded it from the App Store. You can do it for YouTube as well.
Oh,
Like you can do YouTube streams as well, and like
What's it
you can
called?
you can add your own. It's called Switcher Studio, and you just like sign in. You can either sign in with your Facebook or your Gmail. Well, you can sign in with both and then live stream like on which one you want. And you can add your own pictures as well. So if you want to make like a custom, like the stream is about to begin, you can play videos as well. So if you want to have like an intro to your live stream, you can like put an intro on at the beginning. And you can do other stuff like you can like mute your audio, put it back on.
Log in. Oh no. I have to make an account first. Right.
As you are a city. You are a city slicker. Lol. Alright, this is looking good. We've got this going here now. Nearly got this building done actually. Quite like it. Just there on the corner. So down here, this is called Park Street. And there's going to be a few more like together houses, if that makes sense. And then we're going to have a park, which is going to come like back down here. And the river's going to run across. The river's going to run down like through the park. It's going to do some like cool stuff. And that's going to be our river for the city. And then down here, we're going to have the church. Like, I'm talking like right back down here. Like, probably even further than this as well. because I'm going to do a car mechanic garage on this street as well. There's also a vets to do. I'm going to do a vets on here as well. I'm kind of basing it a bit like my town, but I'm not building it exactly like my town. I'm just coming up with like a similar concept as to sort of the general thing that I want to do from here, if that makes sense. But I actually did something. You see these houses here? I built these houses here, and in my real town, there's actually some similar houses here on this street, which was like quite like weird. Like I just did them, like looked at houses and did them, and then I realised that there is actually some similar houses like this, like not exactly the same, but I'm talking like the concept of them all joined together and having like the same windows. So that was pretty sick. Yes. Anyway, it's a shame you didn't tune into that live show, Rob. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna check the views on it now, like, because obviously people will watch since it's not live. Yeah, we've got another comment. Andy, yes. Go down. Yeah, we've had over 1,100 views now. That's all right then. Yeah, that's what someone asked in the live show. No, it's sound. I'm not exactly. I had learning disabilities at school, if that kind of classes. Like, I'm not exactly like what I'm saying is like, it's hard to explain. Like, I can do things, if that makes sense. Like, I don't need like special help with like walking or anything in that kind of sense. But I just had disabilities learning at school, and I'll get down to something quite serious here. Like, it doesn't bother me talking about it personally, but when I was younger, I had what was called a lazy eye, like when I was, born, and basically my left eye wouldn't function. Like, like the middle bit of your eye, you can like move it around without actually turning your head. Well, basically mine was pretty much like paralyzed, and it was called a lazy eye because my right eye would move and do everything normal, what a normal eye should do, but my left eye wouldn't. And basically the hospital had to pretty much take that eye out and do like an operation on it and put it back in. And I had like bad eyesight through when I was a kid. I had to wear a patch on my left eye for like half an hour every day, which would just basically be to give it a rest. And nah, it's true. Like, I'm not scared to go. I'm not scared to go through it. It doesn't bother me anymore. And basically, yeah, I had it caused me like a lot of disabilities. And basically, when I was 7 years old, that was when I learned to catch a ball. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, when I was 7, I had to have a special woman come into school, to like primary school, and she had to like teach me like stuff like on my own, like without without being in a PE lesson with loads of like other people at school. And I had to learn to catch a ball. Like, she just had to throw like a little tennis ball to me, and then I had to practice like other things, like just doing a bit of drawing and a bit of writing. And I also was a fidget when I was younger as well, and I had to have a special blue cushion in school, in primary school, and I had to sit on it. It was to help me sit still, basically. And I also just used to struggle at reading and writing. And I also had like really bad balance as well. Like bad balance as in like I never rode a skateboard till I was like I'd say 13, 14, 15. Um, I never rode a pair of roller skates till I was like 15, 16, and pretty much like that's pretty much the way it went. And I'm completely fine now. I can catch balls fine. I've still got the lazy eye, but it's not as bad as it was, if that makes sense. Like I don't need patches anymore. I don't need anything like that. It was just one of them things. I also had a trapped nerve as well, where basically like a nerve in my neck got sort of like stuck. And but that was like when I was, like that wasn't long after I was born type thing. It wasn't a it wasn't like I don't remember it, but I've been told about it. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I guess in a way I kind of was slash semi still is disabled, but I'm not bad now, if that makes sense. Like I go to the pub drinking, I you know I'm like I can go in for my driving test. I can ride motorbikes on the road. I'm not like, do you know what I mean? There's nothing what affects my life now. I work every day, there's nothing in that sense. I just had them issues when I was younger, but I'm not the type of person to be scared to talk about it because, I'm not the only one who had the issue with the eye. I know someone else what did. I'm not going to say who because they might not want me to mention it about them, but I know someone what did, and it's just life is things what happen. I know this person that with a leg was born with one leg and has to wear. Oh yeah, people do. People do. There was actually a person on TV a while ago who actually was born with an arm where his left leg was supposed to be, and was born with a leg where his left arm was meant to be. So he had a leg and an arm, like for his arms, and a leg and an arm for his legs, if that makes sense. Which you do, you get them people what are joined together, don't you? Where they have like two heads on one body. Like it's somewhat like the way I see it is life is life. These things happen. It's obviously shocking and terrifying for people what go through stuff like that, and it was for my family when I went through stuff. But at the end of the day, like these things happen, don't they? Like we can't stop them from happening. We can't say right, enough's enough. Yeah, like, you know what I mean though? Like, stuff happens. Like, life goes down. Like, that's the way I see it, because I'll tell you the truth, like, I'm not a healthy eater. I'm very, very, like, fussy with my food. Like, there's a lot of, like, I don't like fruit and veg. I don't eat apples or bananas. I tell you what, I don't eat anything. I don't eat peas, carrots. I don't eat broccoli, sweet corn. I don't eat cabbage. I don't eat lettuce. I don't have salad in sandwiches. I don't eat things like rice and like chicken curries or anything like that. I'll have like curry sauce and I'll have the chicken out of it, but I don't have all the like chilies and like curries and like peas in them and stuff like that. Same with soup. I don't have like vegetable soups, and I don't eat like fruit or anything like that. About the most I go to like eating fruit is like drinking a healthy fruit drink, and that's about as far as it goes. Pretty much all I like is like meat and chips, pretty much. Well, I like things like steak pies, and I like lasagnas and spaghetti bolognese. I like fry-ups and sausage and chips and burgers. I also like ribs and stuff like that. I also like chicken chow mains, but I don't like all the veg in them. I like things like prawn toast and pizzas, but I don't eat healthy things, if you get me. I'm very like you know, I don't sit there and have like bowls of salad and eat like and have like tuna and stuff like that. And you know, like people are always trying to get me to eat healthy. And I'll tell you now, like the way I see it, which is the way I see it, is you only live once, and I think that people are who they are. Like I don't believe in people trying to make people be somebody they're not, if that makes sense. Like personally, I don't eat healthy, and that in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Everybody dies at some point in life, and some people just die earlier. And I'm not going to put myself through reaching, feeling sick, and eating stuff that I don't like just for the hope that I might live a few extra years. Like if I don't live to be like 80, then whenever I die, whether it's tomorrow or the next day or a few years time or in 30 years time, I live my life and that was the way I lived it. Like, you know, some people aren't made to eat healthy, and some people aren't made to live to be an absolutely, you know, like old age, if that makes sense. Like people have their life and their time, and that in my opinion, that is just the way life is for me. That's the way I feel. Like, do I have dyslexia? Yeah. And the lad with one leg can't walk straight, he limps. Yeah, true. But now, like, that's the way I see it. Like, you live once, and everyone goes at some point. Some go earlier than others. Yeah, no, I do have dyslexia, yeah. I do struggle with balance. I'm better than I used to be. I'll say that now. But, like, I can, like, do things better. But, you know. Alrighty, so that building's done. I actually really like that. I honestly do. Next building. Yeah. Right, let's do this. Let's do what I want to do next. Weird, weird. There's a lad in my soccer club that has these weird spasms. Yeah, man. Life's life. These, you know, things happen, don't they? Which, you know, is a shame, unfortunately. But they happen. And then this goes a bit lower. We're going to have this a bit lower. And then what we actually have is, we have a little bit of a bigger gate. Like a higher gate as well. But first off, we need the light grey wool. think that'll do, personally. Yo. I think someone's here. Right, this is going to have a little bit of a nicer window, actually. Get some glass. Well, actually, no, we're only going to have it as a free, but... just like this. Yo. Hi. Welcome. And this is going to be one house. Like, that will be the width of one house. I know, it's weird, isn't it? And then this is going to be a normal double glazed window. Which I'm probably going to do this one 3 high. Because these are like a bit more of a bigger house, if that makes sense. They're possibly a bit higher as well compared to some. Well, they are more higher. And there is no window for the rest of it. being robbed.
Have you bloody been in and got a paper and not paid?
Incident at Sparkstop on
What's the
Eastgate.
police? What's the police?
I don't know. Unless the robbery was a different day and they've just, you know, used the natural and the local weekly as that.
That's dark, isn't it?
Yeah. So I don't know when this, but this was put on 32 minutes ago, but I never heard any sirens, so.
That's it. It's been tonight then, hasn't it? Since it got dark.
It must have been, but I never heard it, you know, and he
Well, it
said,
can't be morning because it's daylight at 6.
yeah, but I mean, unless it was a different night and they just put it on the thing now, but I can't see it really. I think it will have been today. But yeah, 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 that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it so far, but that's our Sparkstop point. Yeah, armed robbery at Sparkstop.
That's been tonight. I could see since I looked right up at that then.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's only the shop's being robbed in a way. You know, they deserved it really. Oh yeah. How is he? And they're back at their home now.
Well, that's been making a difference. I'll imagine. You know, with the, it's a forklift thing. We've got to hit the voltage stuff now. We have to use it
An ambulance was there as well apparently. 4 to 5 police vehicles and an ambulance in attendance. So they must have gone for one of the shopkeepers.
Well, presumably will, but well, it's a rubbish thing on his lawn in these days.
Yeah, we'll see tomorrow. Well, I'll give him a ring actually. And see if he's.
She's dropped some bloody food in a town. Hey? Well, but yeah, but it's been to the shop. The shop would have been in another street in the robbed it.
Hi Dad. Have you seen on Facebook? Sparkstop on our street's been robbed. There's been about 4 to 5 police cars and an ambulance there. We didn't see anything exactly at the shop, but I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah, but
Weekly.
what's happened when it's been dark?
It's happened when it's been dark though, so it must. Yeah, it must have been today. If it had been a different day, they would have put it on them, wouldn't they? Yeah, well, yeah, there was about 4 to 5 cop cars and an ambulance there apparently. So, yeah, I didn't know if you'd seen or not. I just saw it and yeah. Yeah, okay. Did you go to fair?
Has he been to fair?
Oh, on any horses on river really.
I've not seen yet.
Yeah. Was there more people there today? Yeah. I thought there would be. I bet there will be tomorrow as well. Yeah. Right, I'll get going anyway. I just thought I'd let you know.
Well, that's like you tell me before I couldn't know.
Yeah, well, no, just.
I thought I'd let you know.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bye. No, he hadn't said about it. You know.
due respect, it almost looks like there's still something going off, James. That's the job I used to do. Is anybody else out? You've had as well, Ben. Yeah. There's been some else. Is there any more sightseers out there? There's a few down there. There's quite a few hanging about. Mainly teenage kids. You know. I said last week, as long as nobody's any big things are dropped at actually. She dropped her, she goes to the town. Well, there is an ambulance there. I hope you're forgive me. Yeah, that's a fact. Especially when you and Randall work there and that was the nice lads out. Yeah, I don't think that woman's usually on a night. No, yeah. She's a them lads. If it's one of them, I'll be a bit gutted in a way. You know, I'd go in when they're on. If nobody's there, that's it. Well, there was an ambulance. Yeah, so but that's on it. Yeah. Unless that's just for routine then.
Hello.
Yo.
Yo, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just we have a local shop up the road and it's been robbed. There's like, you know, there's like 4 to 5 police cars and an ambulance outside.
Okay.
We saw it on Facebook and we didn't know when it was, and we looked outside and there's still some people like cop cars and that there now, so I don't know what it is really. Something's happened. I mean, I'm not sorry in a way because one of the women there rips you off and they're a bit rude to you, but I still hope like no one's got hurt, if you know what I mean. Like, I wouldn't wish them to get hurt, but I'm not sorry that they've been robbed. Here we go anyway, guys, we're cracking on with this. There'll be quite a bit more of this, a few of these houses getting extended, coming across here. So yeah, like, I want to see who's commented. Yo, it's not morning. Hey, how are you after last weekend? Oh, that was a night. Hey, you'll never guess what? The Spar shop on my street's been robbed tonight. There's about 4 to 5 police cars and an ambulance there now.
I'm back.
So yeah. I'm gonna stop the stream anyway, now it's